Jay, I'm going to give you my picks. It's about that time, 2 days away from the American, the American opening day. Oh, hot. Here's my predictions, and there's never been less. Um, there's never been less information absorbed by me during this. I'm just going by what I remember from free agency. With that being said, let's get to it. And I'm going to make this not so detailed as before. But I wanted to get it out. I'm bored. I'm excited for baseball. It's 2 days away. American League, Yankees are going to win the East. I got Cleveland in the Central, and I got Houston in the West. Um, Before I get to my wild cards, let me touch on a couple things here. As far as my team goes, and because they were such a surprise last year with 97 wins, I really truly believe, not just because they lost the first two games, and not just because I'm usually a pessimist, but I'm also a realist. Oakland is going to stumble back to where people thought they would be last year. I don't think they're going to win 80 games. I think they might win 75 to 78. Their pitching is brutal. It's bad. Um, I mean, there's not an ace in that staff. There's not even like a true number two man in there. Their bullpen is solid. Uh, Trinan is so good. Like he is. Like they get to him, they'll be fine. And a couple of the setup guys are good. Like Trevino. I hate Rodney. I still hate him. Not just because of the whole hat thing. He's just not good anymore. I think he needs to be a closer to be any kind of asset in a bullpen. Anyways, enough of them. But and now Olson is out 4 to 6 weeks. Oh God. Okay, so I also think Houston might win that division by more than 20 games. I think that division is so bad. The thing is, Oakland's going to be really bad, but they still might finish second. I mean, Texas, Anaheim, Seattle stink. They stink. Okay, let me get to my wild cards. I'm going Boston, obviously. I mean, Boston, New York is so good. And I'm going to go with Minnesota. I like a couple of their pickups. I also was debating on putting three teams from the East in there with Tampa Bay. I like their team. I'm a fan of Tampa. It must be cool for you to watch them. Picking up, I think Morton is a good pickup. Who else did they get? Kiermaier is back. Wasn't he hurt a lot last year? And who did they get for Malik Smith? I don't know. Anyways, I think they'll definitely be third place in that division. I also think Baltimore might set a record for losses. That's how bad Baltimore is. So let me go to the National League. Oh, let's get this going here. Atlanta. I'm picking Atlanta for the East. Chicago in the Central. I'm going Colorado in the West. I think the Dodgers making that trade with Puig and Kemp. I mean, they weren't great, but they were steady. They're solid pieces of that team. I think they're going to miss them. They picked up the pitcher from Cincinnati, who I don't even know who the hell that is now. Was it Bailey? I don't even know who they picked up. Plus Kershaw, definitely on the downside of his career. Jansen's a stud. But anyways, I'm going Colorado. I think Murphy's going to be a huge pickup for them. John Gray, I mean, their pitching's not great either. Kyle Freeland. I just think that division's also down. I flirted with Arizona. My wild cards, also, before I get to that, the Mets, I know I always am high on the Mets, but man, I love their pitching, and picking up Diaz is huge for their bullpen. They got Familia back. Is a good setup. They got their bullpen's pretty good too. I think their rookie first baseman's gonna be solid. Cano, um, getting rid of Jay Bruce was actually addition by subtraction. Conforto, I think they're gonna be okay. I flirted with them. I think they'll take second. I think Philly be third. Anyways, won't get too into that. My wild cards in the National League are going to be Milwaukee and the Dodgers. MVPs. I'm going Nolan Arenado in the National League. I think he's going to hit 40 home runs, driving maybe 130. Such a great glove. I know that's not a huge part of what the MVP is for. I'm going Nolan Arenado. In the American League, I think the Yankees are so good. They're so good. Like, they're really good. And they're going to probably pick up a pitcher before the trade deadline. They'll be getting Didi back probably around then or maybe August. If Tulowitzki shits the bed, you still can put Glaber at second with LeMahieu at second, Torres at short. They're just loaded. They're just loaded. The bullpen is fucking nasty. But anyways, my MVP, I flirted with going with Glaber Torres. I love him. I know you do too. But you know who I'm picking? I'm picking Judge. I think the Yankees are going to have Judge MVP. It's going to be like the 85 year with Mattingly and Winfield for the MVP. I think Judge and Torres are going to battle for the MVP. I think it's going to be a magical year in the Bronx. Don't hate the Yankees. I hate their fans, so it kind of hurts me to say that, but I also have to be realistic. They are loaded. So I'm picking the Yanks. For Judge and Torres. Judge, Torres, runner-up. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to go. I got the Yankees playing Colorado in the World Series. And I got the Yankees winning in 5. The National League, I mean, I could have picked Chicago. Also, in the American League, Houston. Again, I think they're really good. I just don't. I don't like. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. And again, the Yankees are better than they were last year. So all this being said, injuries are a huge thing, obviously. But I'm going with the Yanks versus Colorado. Yankees in 5. Anything else? I think Harper will have a decent year. Trout. That's just a bad team. Again, he'll be great. 30, maybe 35, 110. Anything else I want to say about this season? No, Baltimore's going to be awful. I said that. I think Cincinnati's. You know what? Another thing I want to tell you. You know how good Sonny Gray has looked in Cincinnati in spring training? I have him in one of my leagues. I was thinking about picking him up in our league. Maybe I will. I know I say that a lot, and I'm biased because I love him. Loved him with Oakland. I think he's going to be really, really good. This is his last chance to actually be good. So that's my thing about him. I think Sonny Gray is going to do well. I guess that's it. You can respond if you want to make a video. Just text, just thoughts, whatever. So anyways, happy opening day in 2 days. I will be excited for it. Yeah, you never know how many more of these I got left. Is that weird to say? All right, I'm going to go watch This Is Us. Talk to you later.